Okay, as cool as it would be for me to be doing this whole thing with the whole blindfold over my eyes, I have to look at my notes. Yeah, I have notes. I mean, we're talking about Daredevil and notes. Okay, so what we got here is Season 1, Episode 1 of the Netflix original series Daredevil, directed by Philip Abraham, who cut his teeth on some episodes of The Sopranos, from what I understand. And it's great. I mean, I'm feeling it. It's Charlie Cox, who, when your last name is Cox, shouldn't you change it? I've never gotten that. Like, why would you not change it if your last name is Cox? I'm thinking of changing my last name, and it's Neil. There is too many of us, but Cox, really? But I digress. Charlie Cox there does a great job as Daredevil. You kind of believe him. I would prefer somebody who's a little more ripped, personally, but I guess all superheroes are small and ripped, as opposed to, you know, He-Man, who's big and ripped. I would really like to see a legitimately fat superhero sometime, personally. I would. Not that I didn't enjoy this, but I would. So this issue, Into the Ring, you get a sort of look at Daredevil's world. It's the introduction of, I believe it will be the love interest in the series. And I will mention that there is some boob teasing in this. And I hate boob teasing. I mean, I understand she's undressing in front of a blind man. I get that. Really shouldn't be like, well, he's going to see me, because he's not. She acclimates to that very well. Only thing is, we don't see anything. So, I mean, I'm not going to apologize for wanting to see an attractive woman in the buff, especially if she's in the buff and I'm not seeing anything. I mean, you know, it's like, if you know she's wearing a bikini, you want her to run out of the bikini, right? Well, if you know she's naked, you want to see something. That's just teasing me. You often will find that in the first episode of a couple of shows. Like Stargate, the first episode had full frontal nudity. It was the only time we saw nudity in the entire thing. Here, there's some boob teasing, and you're like, God, I hope this is the way the show is going to go. Past that, what you have is multiple storylines playing out together, which is the adult Daredevil and the young Matt Murdock evolving together. I mean, this episode was very to formula, because you had to be to formula, because Matt Murdock needed to lose his vision in this episode. That's the first thing that happens, and you get that. And then for the rest of the thing, it's explaining about his adaptation and why he's a superhero. There is not a lot of explanation as to why, being blind, he is this incredible superhero. And I don't think we need that, because there was the Daredevil movie. We got that already. Anyone who's a fan of the series has seen that. I would like to see it anyway, because it would make this episode a complete and understood episode, as opposed to part of a larger universe. And I'd like things to be complete and understood. I think that you should write things as if they are themselves and not part of something else. It's hard to do that in a series, though. But do remember, in order for us to do that, what we're doing is strongly establishing character, and there is a reason to do that. So yeah, again, this is a first episode. First episodes are always hard for these superhero series, because there's a lot of following the formula. I thought it was really good for what it is. In fact, I'm really intrigued to see the rest of Daredevil. The only thing about it is Daredevil's a little longer than other superhero shows, because it's not made for television. It doesn't have the commercial breaks in it. So, only sit down to this if you're prepared to see the whole thing, because it's going to take you a bit longer. So, you know, sit down, get your coffee, make sure you've hit the can, because that's important. I mean, yeah, alright, you can stop things on Netflix, but there's so much jumping around, you're going to have trouble understanding this plot. So just, you know, make sure you've got the time to watch all of it.